Hey Fae folk, welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a ranking of all of the signature Ever After High dolls. If you have been to the channel before, you'll probably know that I've done so many rankings, but most of those are like a tier list style ranking where, I can put $5 in perfect if I feel like it. But now this is going to be the third time where I do a ranking that is more like worst to best. There is only one top place. So I have done this for the Gen 1 Monster High Core dolls and then also for the G3 Monster High Core dolls. And as I said, today we're going to be doing Ever After High. So there's not like a ton of dolls. I believe there are 31. So I want to say it should be relatively quick to get through, but then I know myself and how I tend to blabber, but it should be moderately quick to get through. Typical disclaimer is I obviously have ranked these according to my opinions. You might completely disagree with how I arranged this, and that is completely fine as long as you can be nice about that if you want to express it down below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started at number 31. So the dishonor of being in last place, my least favorite Ever After High Core doll, it has to go to Daring Charming. And it is like mostly because of the budget constraints with this doll. He was, despite being a character that, if I'm remembering correctly, was like present right from the get-go, like the first webisode, the first entry of Ever After High. He didn't get a core doll until nearly the end of them producing dolls, which I do think is like a little bit crazy, but you can definitely see because not only does he have molded on hair, but he also has molded plastic jeans. So there's just there's a lot of plastic going on here, not a lot of layering, and so he inherently has to be in last place just because I have no idea how I would rank this doll if he was better executed. This is probably not, no, I shouldn't even say that. It's definitely not my favorite design, but then also for it to be executed so poorly. I'm sorry, Daring, but there was no way you were going to be anywhere else but last place. Slightly preferable to Daring is going to be Crystal Winters. Not my favorite. She also was produced right at the end of Ever After High, so you can sort of see like she's got the molded on leggings as opposed to some of the earlier dolls were able to get like proper tights and such. So you can see a little bit of the quality there, but she does at least have rooted hair and like, more fabric fashions to her. So I guess that's cool. It's the color scheme for me. I don't think that she necessarily looked excellent color-wise in her animated version, but I do think that that still managed to look better than the doll. Like it's frankly quite bad to me. Just the colors that were chosen, I don't think suit the character that they were going for. And I don't necessarily think that they match super well, especially the green in her hair. It is such like it's like a sickly sort of green. I think it would go crazy on like a like ghost sort of doll, like sort of edgy, or if you wanted to do like even a like sea witch sort of thing, I think that could be good. But it just looks kind of weird on her. So I don't like looking at her. So we're gonna move on. Okay. This next one I know is going to be very unpopular, so I am sorry in advance, but it's Justine Dancer. Here's the thing. I don't dislike the base doll. I have no complaints whatsoever about the base doll. I just think this outfit is so bad. Like, it's so bad to me. I don't love the mixed metals. I feel like I very rarely do, but it can be done in a fun way. This just doesn't really feel like it was done in that fun way. I don't like the weird corset, like armor situation that she's got going on around her waist. To be fair, at least in like the visual media, I did read some of the books. I didn't read all of the Ever After High books. So maybe she has a bigger role in like the later Ever After High books. But in the visual media, she's really not present. So I don't know anything about her personality. I'm also not super familiar with the like story that she's based off of. So maybe there's a reason for that, but I just don't feel like we were given any background to be like, oh, this is why she's got like this armor plating. I don't know. It's just, it looks weird and out of place to me. And this god awful shiny, nasty looking fabric skirt with this hideous ribbon print is unforgivable to me. I'm sorry. This is so ugly. Like it's just so bad, especially the way that like in this photo it's puckering so strangely where it goes like up underneath the corset. Like it doesn't even look like at least this one was sewn that well. It just you could put this doll in like any other outfit and she would look better. So I couldn't put her anywhere else. I'm sorry. Then we're taking a look at Farrah Good Fairy. She's not a good fairy to me. I just really don't like this. I think the hollowed out wings, I've seen hollowed out wings that look good. These are not my favorite. They're not the worst, but they're not my favorite. Every time I see this particular picture of her, like I recognize that I'm judging based off of one stock photo, but that's what I have. Okay. So just, it's fine. Every time I see this, it looks like she's in a maternity dress. And to be clear, there's nothing wrong with being in a maternity dress. There's nothing wrong with a pregnant person existing or wearing, fashionable clothes or whatever. But she's not supposed to be in a maternity dress. So that's why it bothers me. It's not that like I'm like, I hate pregnant people. It's just like she's very obviously not pregnant. So it just looks like a little bit strange, and also her face, like the expression, I think is meant to feel kind, but instead I don't I don't know. Like I feel like she's judging me. I don't like this one. Next up is Jillian Beanstalk. I feel like I've talked about her a weird amount somehow on this channel. Like of all characters, she's the one that I feel like I've talked a lot about. There are some things that I like. I think that the like metal corset for her looks genuinely good. Like something about the shape of it just feels less like armor and more decorative. And I do think the colors are pretty fun. But as I have said before, she just looks like a high school English teacher to me. And like, I'm saying that as someone who historically, like back, way back when I was in school, English teachers were some of my favorite teachers. But some of them are weird. And she looks like a weird English teacher. So I just can't get past it. I'm sorry. Next up we have Gingerbread House, and I will say part of it is just because you may know I don't really tend to feel drawn towards sweets themed dolls, but I also just think that this one is kind of odd. I think she's strangely executed because I feel like she's in this weird in between where it's not that she has a simple streamlined design, but she also doesn't have like an over the top design, but somehow she also doesn't have like a here's a normal amount of accessories. She just feels a little bit too much, but also not enough all at the same time. Maybe it's the lack of painted detail. I think she really, really would have benefited from some painted detail around her glasses and on that necklace. I know that I did a video where I like quote unquote fixed, I like made little edits to Ever After High Dolls. I know she was in it. I don't even remember what I did to her for the most part, but I know I changed the color of her glasses because they blend in with her hair. And it's like, that's not helpful. And then the random black, like the black of her jacket and her bag is just so jarring against all the other colors. Like it doesn't fit in. So yeah, I've complained a lot. Basically, I just think like I get Gingerbread House was always going to be a sweets themed doll. I think you can do that well. I just don't think that this is it. That brings us to 25th place, and I mean that's still sort of a dubious honor. It's better than last place, but it's not super. So that dubious honor goes to Courtly Jester. I feel like I should love her because like circus jester, weird, quirky, that's right up my alley. I love so many dolls that have those elements to them. And even like the Way to Wonderland line, I think is such a fun line, and Courtly's like adjacent to that. But I just don't feel like she was really given what she deserved to be given. I will say I think the way they executed her sort of neck cuff with like the pieces all going crazy directions, that's very good. That's really, really cool. But my biggest gripes are one, I don't understand her expression. I have no idea what face she's supposed to be making, but she's not making it. Two, I don't Don't love how the hair was executed. It does feel very different to her animated version and not in a good way. And then 3, there's just so much plastic. There's so much plastic and so much unpainted plastic too. Like, obviously, for a playline doll, it's pretty normal for there to be plastic elements and even a lot of plastic elements, but you can paint them to make them look better. She's got no paint on her hat. That is insane to me. She's got no paint on like the little jester thing at her hips. Also crazy. And that would have looked so much better in fabric. The like cuffs, I guess. She's supposed to be wearing gloves because her hands are like molded, but then obviously the cuff is a separate piece. There's no painted detail on that. There's hardly any painted detail on her shoes. There's just nothing. I do think Courtly has an interesting design and could have been an incredible doll. I just don't think she ended up getting like the budget that she needed, I guess is a good way to put it. Ooh, okay. So I feel like for videos like this, it's quite normal for the top places, like top 3, top 5, whatever, to be the hardest ones to decide on. Because it's like, oh, who are you going to put in first? Like, there's so many good options. This is Rosabella Beauty, very clearly not on top. And I think she was the hardest one for me to place. I don't know how I feel about her. And I think that's a weird thing to say, especially me, because I'm fairly opinionated. But I look at her and I just cannot figure out what emotion I'm supposed to be having. I clearly don't have a very positive emotion because she's still quite low on the list here. I definitely don't think that she's a hideous doll. It's just that nothing about her stands out. Maybe that's a good way to put it. I don't know, like I'm looking at her and I'm like, should I have put her higher? Because just saying that nothing stands out is hardly the worst thing I can say about a doll. But I also don't like her. I don't know what it is though, and that I think maybe that's what bothers me. I don't mind liking a doll and not being able to put my finger on why, because it's like, whatever, I'm happy. Who cares? I don't like when I don't like something and I can't place it. Because even normally I can be like, the vibes are off. It's not even that. I don't know what it is. I just look at her and I'm like, I don't like that. So, sorry. That brings us to Michelle Mermaid, who, if she had come out earlier in the series, I think she could have been a top contender if she had like early Ever After High budget, but unfortunately that's not how things worked out. So this is what we got. And really, the number one reason that she is so low on the list is because you can literally see in the stock photo the entire back of her dress is just like not printed with anything. There's no scale detailing, and even going up to the top of the dress where you'd think the back would at least be red, if you zoom in, it looks like that shit is still blue. That's wild. That's wild to me. Like, the design is not horrific, but the budget was clearly slashed for her, and I just can't see that and place her any higher than she is. Oh god, okay. We're on to Dexter, who is made of quality, like supplies and stuff. So there's that. He's definitely an improvement upon his brother Daring in that regard. I am just never going to be able to get over the hair or the like blazer mixed with this hipster scarf. He gets points though for having a design and also an all fabric outfit, which god, that sounds so sad to say because it should be the bare minimum, but it's definitely not. So that's Dexter. Then we have Bunny Blanc. She should have been lower, honestly. I don't know why I put her this high up. I can't lie cuz I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I just maybe it's that out of all the Wonderlandian dolls, she just seems so unexciting to me, just so nothing. There's barely color, but the color that is there, I think, is a little bit odd looking. I don't know. Something about her is just very off-putting to me. Honestly, overall, Bunny Blanc feels like such an afterthought, both in doll form and also in media form, because in the media, at least again, like I didn't read every single book, but all of the media that I consumed, Bunny Blanc's personality is that she's in love with Alistair and he doesn't know. That's it. That's literally everything she has. And the same thing sort of can be said for Alistair, except of course, because he's a man, he also gets to be like adventurous. So he has at least one other personality trait. But Bunny Blanc literally just is I love Alistair, but he doesn't. Like I'm getting so heated about this that I just like forgot how to speak. We're tiptoeing around it. That's what I was trying to say. And so she feels like an afterthought when it came to the writing. And when it comes to the doll, there's absolutely nothing remarkable about her. And it like just aggravates me. Because especially considering how much the Wonderlandians are involved in Ever After High lore, there's really no reason that the daughter of the White Rabbit should be such an afterthought. Maybe that's why I ranked her higher. Maybe I was like feeling a little bit bad that she didn't get get the treatment she deserved. Melody Piper's up next. I have quite literally nothing to say about this doll. She's there. I think the colors are fine. She has some tattoos, which is pretty cool to see on a doll. Like that's not necessarily the most common thing. She exists. I feel sort of similarly about Nina Thumbell as I did about Bunny Blanc in the sense that she does sort of just feel like she's there. She was introduced in the webisodes at the point where you could really clearly see that they were kind of just like throwing new characters in and just trying to get something to stick to keep making the series last. She's less egregious to me than Bunny because she's at least not someone who should be more of a titular character. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Nina Thumbell being a background character makes more sense than Bunny Block being a background character. I also do inherently like her outfit a little bit more. I mean, she's vaguely fairy-esque. I know she doesn't have wings, but like, she's got some of the same vibes going on. I just wish we could have gotten more painted detail because I do think that some of her pieces look quite flat because there's just like a little bit of painting on there. And, you know, the top two is kind of meh, but she's not terrible. Next up, we have Alistair. So he is another boy doll who actually got a full fabric outfit. We love to see it. It's definitely less exciting than Dexter's, but I think it's better. Like, it is very simplistic. I'm not trying to give him too much credit, but because it's so simplistic, they didn't really mess anything up too bad. So he's safely middle of the pack for me. I feel like this also might be unpopular, but next in the list is Duchess Swan. I really don't love her core doll. I know she had for sure the Fairest on Ice doll. I don't know if she had any others. I feel like she did. I can't really remember. But like the Fairest on Ice doll, that was infinitely better. This one is just sort of, she's there. Like she's definitely not terrible, but I still am seeing, you know, like the head accessory really could have used some more painted detail. I think the fabric of the skirt looks a little bit questionable. Again, she's not bad, but like she's not excellent to me. Fable Thorn is a doll that I think I used to hate significantly more than I do now. So just like a funny thing of tastes changing. She's clearly still not my favorite. I do think the bright, like royal blue pant is a little bit out of place with everything else, but I have come to appreciate her little clear wings, and the sort of detailing on her shirt is pretty nice. And even her skin, it looks like it might be slightly iridescent. She has redeemed herself doll wise in my eyes. Character wise, questionable. But doll wise, I definitely know that there was a time where I was like hardcore hating on this doll. She's not that bad. I'm literally sweating right now trying to remember if this is Poppy or Holly. I can never remember. I think it's Poppy, and we're gonna go with that, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong. So Poppy O'Hare, I don't really mind anything except, ironically, for her hair. I have never been a super big fan of like the purple and orange color combo, just generally speaking. Funny little anecdote. I played Neopets all the time as a kid. I've talked about that a few times here on the channel. Like, I was obsessed with that website, and I have such vivid memories of being just so young and looking at the Hassies. And I'll put a picture in here because some of you probably do not know what on earth a Hassie is. And I don't even know if I'm saying that right. But I hated the purple and orange. I thought it was so ugly. And so seeing that same color combo on this doll is crazy. And guess what? Still don't like it. Haven't changed my mind about that one. Also, the cut is unforgivable. It's so bad. Like a good asymmetrical bob can look very cute. And in the show, at least the cut was fine. But the way they executed it on the doll where it's like brr, brr, it's so bad. And it's not even like intentional. Because I feel like you could get away with doing a doll that has a really dramatic length difference like that, but they have like a very like punky sort of character and like it could work. I know she's like the edgier out of the twins, but let's be honest. It was not intended to look like this, and it does, and it is clearly not great. Is this also unpopular? I don't know how people feel about Core Ashlyn, but she's here on my list. I don't know what place this is, but she's here. I just think she has so many other much better dolls. Like there are a few Ashlyns that I really, really want to have, slash that I have, and I'm very grateful to have, that I think are just gorgeous, stunning, incredible dolls. And I definitely don't think that her core look is a bad look. You know, we are approaching like the top 10. We're getting close to the really good stuff, right? I don't think that she's bad at all. I just think that there are so many other dolls that are much, much better. And also just knowing that she could be much better, I think makes it harder for me to really appreciate this outfit. So far from the worst, but also kind of far from the best. Cerise Hood is interesting to me because her doll, granted, definitely is not like the most budget doll that we've looked at today, right? But I feel like her doll still has elements that feel very unfinished, is maybe a good way to put it. Like the boots, especially, draw my eye in the worst way. And the reason that that's notable to me is like, I can look at Daring and be like, that sucks, but unfortunately, I kind of get it because he was towards the like end of the run. Cerise was very early on, right? Like there's not really that same excuse. And I'm just looking at her boots and I'm like, they needed to paint those laces. They needed to paint those laces. It just feels very jarring and a little bit odd. And also, Cerise doesn't have her wolf ears on her dolls. That bothers me. So she's here. Hunter Huntsman gets top pick for boy dolls on today's list. I think he is a genuinely well executed male doll. He doesn't look goofy. He has a very clear style. He has details and layers and fabric clothing. And like, this is such a perfect point. Like, we just looked at Cerise's boots. Look at Hunter's boots. Cerise couldn't get that. Like, that's why she's lower. I just think he genuinely looks so good. And he is unfortunately a rather rare example of a male doll looking like they had just as much effort put into them as the girl dolls get. So it's sad for all the others, but great for Hunter because, like, he very clearly was crafted with care. And I appreciate him for it. Then we have who I am assuming is Holly O'Hare. So we don't have the purple mixed in with like this sort of gingery orange tone of her hair. So automatically, that's better. Other than that, she's just unexciting, to be honest. Like, she's definitely not ugly. There are certain pieces that I think are really, really lovely. Like the jacket that she has with like the braiding around sort of the sleeve. That's really, really cool. I think the shoes are lovely. Even the print on the dress, I think, is pretty fun. But the whole picture, I'm just kind of like, she's there. We are now officially breaking into the top 10, and we're going to be kicking it off with Briar Beauty. Funnily enough, she's also sort of like Faybelle, where I feel like I never felt hatred towards this doll, right? Not the same way that I did for Faybelle. But I feel like every time I look at her, I just like her a little bit more. Like, I just appreciate her a little bit more. The thorns on the tights is so iconic and so interesting and fun. The skirt being like petals is really, really well designed and really cool. And it's obvious enough for you to very clearly see it, but not so obvious that it's like, ew, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not so obvious that it's like, this was supposed to be on a fairy doll and it got put on the wrong doll, you know? I feel like this could go bad very, very quickly. The top half, I think, is what loses me, at least of her outfit. I don't mind her face. I despise I've even forgotten the name that she calls them because I just want to forget that they're a thing. But the like crown glasses where she's got a sunglasses, but it's got like a crown. I hate that with such a passion. But other than that, I don't really mind the top, like, head portion. It's just the top of the dress I think is slightly iffy, and we're also at the point where it's there are just dolls that are better, so she's still respectable kicking off the top 10. Ninth place goes to Apple White, and she's very similar to Ashlyn for me, where, like, this is a pretty doll. There are just so many dolls of her that are infinitely better. Highlights, though, definitely include the top portion of her outfit. I think that completely inverse to Briar, funnily enough. The top portion looks, like, interesting and well designed. The second half, I do like most of it. I think the top layer of the skirt, the colors are maybe a little iffy, and the fabric just seems, at least in this stock photo, sort of questionable for me personally. But oh my god, I'm obsessed with that bag. The little apple bag, that is so unbelievably cute. Like, I just want the bag. So a very good showing from Apple. She just does have better dolls, and there are other core dolls that are better than her to me, including, inexplicably, Blondie Locks. I don't know why I like this doll. I don't know why I like her character. I just do. Like, there's just something fun and sweet and interesting about her. The, like, brown knot fur on her shoes still bothers me, but everything else, I'm just like, she's a cutie. Like, she just is a cutie to me. That's really it. That's all it boils down to. I can't explain anything further. I just ranked her here. Next up is Raven. Like, she's so good. She really, really is so good. She's not necessarily a doll that I am like, oh, I want to own her for one fairly specific reason, but we're going to talk about the outfit first. This skirt is incredible. The different layers and the way that it, like, blooms out is so, so lovely. The metallic details are so well done because they actually have a little bit of, like, painting, dry brushing, whatever technique on them. So they're just solid hunks of plastic, but they look a little special. And, like, that collar, that's so good. The face is what gets me. And I think the thing is, like, I know Ever After High in general is not for some people because of the quote unquote pancake faces, like the very round faces. I think it's especially jarring on the, like, more evil characters. Raven is not evil, just to be clear. I'm just saying the, like, bad characters, I think it doesn't look as good on. And Raven, while she's not bad or evil or anything like that, she does have a very edgy aesthetic. And I think the pancake face just really stands out because most of her design has, like, harsher lines and stuff like that and just harsher elements. So it's quite jarring. And I think too, characters like Raven are the ones that make me long for the animation so much because the animation, Raven still looks very sweet. Like, she doesn't look evil in the animation because she's not. Like, she isn't supposed to look evil, but her face suits her so much more in the animation, and then this is what we got for the doll, and it just looks a little bit mismatched to me. So there's a lot of good here. I just don't know that the face mold was really what Raven needed. And then we're on to Darling Charming, and I think I've actually managed to get the names correct this whole time. Daring and Darling being siblings is very difficult for me to, like, make sure I'm saying the right word. But Darling Charming, she's quite good. She's quite good. The hair blend, this particular version of her too, she got some dolls later down the line where she had, like, an aggressive spray tan for absolutely no reason. That looked horrible. She doesn't have that here. Come here, baby. Come on up. I know you're meowing so much. Do you want love? Come here. There you go. Good baby. Anyway, yeah, I appreciate the fact that she doesn't have, like, just such an aggressive fake tan on in this doll. I think the metal elements have so much, like, sculpting done on them, and they just look so, so nice. The way that, like, the skirt too goes over the dress, and so you've got this, like, metallic dress and then this flowy sort of skirt layered on top. I think it's so nice. We do appreciate this darling doll here, but again, there's just better ones. So, fifth place is going to go to Kitty Cheshire. Am I slightly biased because she's a cat? No. Maybe. I think she's really cute. It does irritate me that she has, like, a cat hat instead of cat ears. But other than that, I think that she's really fun. The Cheshire Cat bag is really, really good. The tights are great. She does need more painted detail. I know she does, baby. Honestly, the more I look at her, like I maybe should have ranked her a little bit lower because she definitely could use some more detail. But the pigtails and the smile and the cat, I put her at fifth place, okay? Fourth place is going to go to Cupid. I think this is an exceptional doll. She's just gorgeous. And we are at the point now where it is just purely there are other dolls I like better. Because honestly, I have no complaints about her. The silhouette of the dress is incredible. The wings, the details on the wings is so, so good. And I love that they used bronze for her. I say this fairly frequently that we always get like gold and silver. And I wish we could see more bronze on dolls because it's just underutilized. She got the bronze and it looks so, so good on her. Third place goes to Mira Shards. I realize that it may be a little bit hypocritical that I spent so much time talking about Raven and like her aesthetic not fitting the super round face. And then I'm like, oh, Mira Shards, who's actually just, I was going to say spoiler alert, but like, I guess spoiler alert. It's older. So I'm like, do I really need to? But spoiler alert, just in case, I guess. She's literally just the evil queen in disguise. And she also has a very dark aesthetic. And yet here I am praising her. I don't know if it's the screening, like maybe the makeup or something is different, or maybe it is a slightly different face sculpt. I'm not good enough at that to tell. She just looks better to me. Like she just fits the face so much better. I think the shock of colorful hair against the all black and white outfit is really, really fun and really cool. And I appreciate like so much how with her plastic elements, like with a design that's all black and white, yes, those are two very contrasting colors, but you have to use them in such a way that you keep them contrasting and like you don't have just black on black on black or white on white on white if you want them to like pop. You know, obviously you can do more subtle designs, whatever. Point is I think that the way they did the plastic bits is so cool because they're like dry brushed again or something. I don't want to say dry brushed because I don't know on like a mass manufacturing scale if that is the technical term. That's just like the term that I would use if I were trying to replicate this. So I'm just going to say that. They're dry brushed in such a way that you get the black, but you get that silvery tone to it as well. And you always retain the contrast. And it's just so well done to me. It's so fun, so cool. I would like to have this one. Second place is going to go to my first favorite character, and that is Madeline Hatter. I love Maddie so much. She's such a little cutie patootie, like character wise. She's just adorable. And also, visually, she's so fun and so striking and so interesting. Like, she is obviously the daughter of the Mad Hatter. She's a Wonderlandian. She wears some funky stuff, but it always works and it always just like mix matches so well to me. And it's just so fun to get to see. My one complaint is like a huge component of Maddie's personality is that she never stops smiling. So, like, the few occasions that Maddie isn't smiling, you know that that is bad. That is very bad. You are in a very, very bad situation if Maddie Hatter is not smiling through it. It really, really kills me that they didn't give her a smiling face on her doll. That being said, everything else about her is absolutely perfect. I do have her. You can't see her, but she's down here and I love her. Two bits and pieces. There's just one core doll that I think is a little bit better. So first place goes to Lizzie Hart's. I love, love, love this doll. Like, that's not a strong enough word. Quite frankly, I think this is such a stunning, incredible design for a doll. She is beyond gorgeous to me. She was actually the first ever After High doll I ever got. My lovely husband bought her for me. Thanks, Tony, if you're seeing this. And I still am completely obsessed with her. Like, she's just so cool. I just love literally everything about her. The hearts on the tights, the entire color scheme. I know peplum is like not so much a trend right now. I think it's starting to come a little bit back, which is weird and frightening. But the like peplum on her hips is so well done and so pretty. All of the different prints that she's got going on. Did I already say the color scheme? I love everything about her. She's so That's it. She's so I could stare at her for ages, and every time I see mine on my shelf, I smile because she's just such an enchanting, wonderful doll. So to me, very, very deserving of the title of Best Ever After High Signature Doll. But that concludes my ranking for them. So now it's your turn to weigh in on this. Are you with me on Lizzie? Do you think I'm crazy for that one? I would just love to know your thoughts on everything that we discussed today. You know, my few controversial takes. I feel like it wasn't that bad, but like I definitely had a couple. So I would be very curious to hear your opinions on these, but that is going to be it for me for today, y'all. I do hope you were able to enjoy. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night, whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.